Hi guys! This video I was reluctant to post because the filming's quite bad on it, but it has got some content in there that I think may inspire other people just to give a DIY a try. Unfortunately, halfway through me doing this room, the landlord of the property decided that he wanted to sell, therefore I never actually finished the project that I wanted to do. My idea was to put like a media unit at the back end of the dining room and have a separation of a dining room and sort of a sitting room. So although I never finished what I wanted to start, it still shows that you can do these challenges if you put your mind to it. Now, bearing in mind this project from start to where I ended up having to finish took quite a few months. Other people might be able to do it a lot quicker. Myself, I'm disabled and I struggle daily with different things that I can and can't do. So on the days my body allowed me to do these projects, I worked on it. If I couldn't do it, then I'd leave it to another day or do something that I was able to do that day. In this video there's a mixture of short clips of videos that I filmed. Among the videos there are still images of what I took throughout. It's not great filming. There was a lot of portrait modes mixed in with landscape modes, mixed in with photographs and things. So although it's not a perfect video and it's not a tutorial or anything like that, I just wanted to show that these things are possible if you wanted to try it yourself. These were the first things that I was able to do after coming out of a relationship where I wasn't allowed to do these types of things. So it was a big learning curve. I did the kitchen first and that will be posted as soon as I get everything together. So this is like the second project, and the first project, the kitchen, I'll show at a later date. But again, that video is very similar in the way that it's been filmed. It'll be short clips that I'm putting together and photographs sort of in between, but it gives you a comparison of how you can start something, and even when things are not perfect, you can still try and get things looking better than what it started. And in the meantime, you learn in the process. That's what I did. I learned loads of new skills, things that I never even thought or dreamed of doing before. I was able to do these projects how I wanted to do, and so I found that quite liberating after being in a relationship which was quite restrictive. And it was sort of a stamp of independence for myself to be able to put my ideas and my creativity into having a house that I was happy to live in and to enjoy the work that I did. The kitchen I absolutely love, and I'm really upset that I had to leave that house because I got it looking so nice. The dining room would have been really nice if I got a chance to finish it. A lot of the work that I put into it I had to sort of undo again so I can get it back to a standard of what the landlord would be happy with, because obviously there was a lot of, well, as you'll see in this video, there was a lot of problems with it. The landlord had contracted some people to come in and do some work, and they did some really shoddy work. Now, I am extremely new to DIY in this video, and my work was better than these so-called professionals. So just because you don't have the qualifications or you don't have the experience, it doesn't mean you can't give it a go and enjoy the work that you've done at the end of it. The end result unfortunately wasn't filmed very much because there was a massive rush to get out of the house. We had to leave, pack everything up and everything, so we had to finish things off very quickly, and unfortunately in the process I didn't get a chance to film and take photographs of my work for the dining room. The kitchen I've got a lot more footage of because I wasn't in a rush to get it finished and get out of the house. So let's have a look, see what you think, see if it inspires you to do something like this. So we're starting off, this is the dining room at the beginning of it. There's different areas being shown here. Bit of a mess because I was preparing ready to get things decorated and shifting stuff about. Using an app called Pen Up, you're able to draw these lines. I'm sure you can do it in other editing software as well. But what this allowed me to do was draw lines across different areas of where I needed to get the measurements for. The wall at the top was nowhere near the same size as it was at the bottom. So it's always a good idea to take at least 3 to 4 different measurements, or maybe more, just to make sure that you've got the correct measurements when you come to fit anything like shelving or cupboards. So this is the kind of idea I was going for. Basically I wanted to put the telly in the middle, hide all the boxes and wires and everything for the TV. A fire below it, which was going to be a really nice modern one. I actually bought it and ended up not actually fitting it because we had to move. And then I wanted some kind of neat shelving on each side. I wanted it to look nice and square. So this is what I was going for. Wasn't thinking of exactly the same thing. I put my own twist on it. I wanted to put different LED lights in and things like that. But just to give you a basic idea. So moving on to the preparation of the room. Obviously the wallpaper needed to come off, so we will start off with the wallpaper. In this video there's going to be a mixture of voiceover and talking on the actual camera as I'm doing the job. Most of it off. There's a couple of little bits that I need to pick up, but the wall's getting quite wet and damage was happening, so I've turned the sound off and video off. There's all the gubbins. On that wall next. So, little hiccup. I started to peel some paint off so I could repair the wall, and this paint remover is that good a tool. It's actually taking the layer of paint off, which I'm glad in a way, because if I'd have put the paint on to this paint, look how easy that coming off. If I put the paint onto this paint, it would have just started flaking and coming apart. So yeah, you can see I'm going to do the full wall. It's not coming off easy, it's just another process I'm going to have to go through. So yeah. So this area seemed to have a little bit of a problem with damp in the corner. The wallpaper was actually peeling away when it was in place, so I used this product, sprayed it all before I painted over it. And I'm putting blinds up here, and this is going to be our dining area. In the dining room we've also got like a sitting area which I'll be working on after this project. Also give it a first coat on this door and strip that wall, and that's going to be one section of this room, so that's going to be the dining area part of the room. Okay, so we got to this point, everything was coming off like butter, no problems like I've shown you before, and then we got down to this area and it just kept on coming off in tiny little sections. At this point now, there is some bits where I can see it's actually lifted from the wall, so that should be quite easy. But just to give you an idea of how difficult it is to be coming off, and I've got a feeling it might be because it's not difficult as such, it's just a lot harder than what it was, and if I dig in too far, it's just gonna... So I'm having to do it very gently. But if you can see here, that's not off me digging in or anything, and I've been very gentle with it. But I think the reason why it's stuck better is because there's something to stick to. Now, I know the mist coat is supposed to do something like that, but I'm just thinking that it might be better for me to sort of, because there's none of this up here. And on the other wall I had the same problem. It was sort of like towards the bottom half of the wall, that's where I had this like peeling rather than, not peeling, cracking and peeling, rather than at the top it was all very buttery and smooth. That's more of a dent. And then up here we've got some paint that's just fallen off. Plenty of holes to fill. Looks like they've had some kind of, I don't know what, some kind of unit or something attached to the wall. Second coat on the door's done, still needs another one. I'm not really a big fan of that paint that I've used. The tin's empty now, so I'm going to have to go over it with a different brand. That one was from Aldi. I don't normally buy the cheaper paint, but it was there when I was there. So I've picked up some on-coat deluxe paint and I'll see how that goes. But all the skirting's done, holes are filled. I'll need sanding down. Next job I've got to do is take that horrible smoke alarm out and have a look at what light fitting I want to put up there, because that won't go with our scheme that we're going to be having. I'm not sure whether I want to take the ceiling rails down yet or not. I have been thinking about putting 2 separate lights in, but that'd be another big project, so I was thinking of putting one there over the dining table and one on the other side of the room, which would be over like a sitting area, but I'm going to figure that out as I go along if I want to do it. So this is a workspace this is a space I've got to work in. I've prepped all the skirting, the rails at the top, filled in all the holes. They all need sanding down, which I'm going to do next. Just took the curtains down, which was up there. That was scary. Don't like ladders. But we all got to overcome our fears and take it slowly with difficulties that you have. I just took out the hooks. They had these hooks to hold the curtain tie backs out. So I've just removed that. Basically I just put it on a little bit and use the actual hook to pull out the roll hook. So that needs now filling and sanding, ready for painting. I've got a few more bits of paint that seems to be flaking off, but I'm going to go over that with the sander. It should be a bit neater. There we go, I've got a couple more rolls up there and some there. So basically just getting a lump of the putter, made it into like a little bit of a ball, pushing it in as far as it'll go. And then when it doesn't have anywhere else to, it needs a bit more in there. Then get some on the applicator that come with it, that's inside the lid, and just pushing it in and then smoothing it over. So this is one side of the room that's finished. It's not a lot of footage, but it just shows you basically what it looks like once it's been completed. So all the wood's been painted, all the walls have been painted, the ceiling's been painted, all the cables were tidied away. I bought the trunking and put that up. Unfortunately, I've not recorded the painting or anything that would have needed 2 hands to complete, because at the time I didn't have anybody there to film and I didn't have a tripod or anything similar. I was just taking these videos before I knew anything about filming and how to put it all together. So we're moving on to the next stage, which is the sitting area. There was a fireplace already in there, but no actual fire. So because I wanted this media wall sort of all flush and nice and neat, there was fire earth at the bottom, like a slate raised area. So I had to take that out first. That was quite a challenge, but enjoyable at the same time, so I got to smash some bits up. I took that back to the wall to make it nice and neat, ready for when I put the skirting on and everything else has been finished. It'll all be nice and neat, and the floor tiles would have been put in to make that space look more roomy, and not having the chance of knocking your toes every time you walk past it, because that was what was happening at the time. So we're moving on to the other side of the room. We're starting off by knocking the fire earth out. Again, there is some videos, some mixes of photos. The film is not great. Again, it's going to be the same as the other side, but it just gives you an idea of what you can accomplish if you try and do something. So the next clip is the dining area side of the dining room completed, and then we'll move on to the other side in the following clip, which would be like the sitting area. So at this point I started on the other side of the room, so there's a lot of mess on this side, but it gives you an idea of what I've been up to. And this is the final look at the dining area. So this is the fire area that I was talking about, where it's like a raised slate, like a fire earth. I needed to remove that so I could get it right up to the wall and have the media area nice and flush against the wall, so I've got skirting in front of it. So I started off with a line of gaffer tape just to give me a straight line of where I need to go up to, so I can attach the skirting board directly to the wall which was behind it. So I bought a hammer and chisel and set to work, and you can see from the photographs this was a bit of a job, but I actually enjoyed doing it. Hitting a chisel with an hammer and knocking a load of bricks away, it seemed to be like I was in my element, but I got rid of that and then thought, I made a mistake, but I knew that the tiles that I had were matching the ones that I already had on the floor, so it was just a matter of getting the right mix, pouring it down and making sure it was all level. So I'm going to start by stripping the backing paper off. I already took the top layer of the wallpaper off. Hopefully try and move that cabinet somehow, and we'll go from there. I've still got to sort this fireplace out yet. I've done it without damaging it, just using a chisel. I bought a bigger chisel and hammer now, and I've got some tiles and some mix to fill that space in, and then hopefully that should butt up to the wall nice and neat. And then my plan is to obviously move all the junk from in there, finish off what the professional builders didn't finish off, by caulking all the areas in, sanding it down, and then I'm going to make a frame for inside there which will hold a more of a modern fireplace. So I'm going to put like a shelf kind of storage place with a decorative front, and then a fireplace, and then just blank the full wall off with gloss material. I'm thinking like sheets of plastic, so giving that kind of gloss look. And then the cupboards on either side, still a work in progress because I've not really decided what I'm doing there yet, but it's got to be better than that god awful thing that the professional woodworker put in. Yeah, so that's where we're up to. Okay, so I'm not sure why this happens, but every time I come to strip the wallpaper off the dining room wall, it happened over on the other side near the dining table, the paint that's on the wall just seems to come off. Now I'm pretty sure it's because it's not been prepared properly, or it's not had a mist coat put on. But yeah, there was a bit of cracking like I shown in the previous photograph there, and I've just gone to tidy it up a bit to see if I can do it without stripping it all, and all of it's come off. But good thing is it comes off like butter, you know, pretty much just peeled straight off. So yeah, I'm not sure why it happens. If anybody would like to let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit the same problem in this house in another room, because a lot of the work's been poorly done. So yeah. So this is the cupboard that was put in by the professional cabinet maker. Things like, I have to apologise for the lighting because I've got no light on at the minute, so I'm using the torch. So little things like this. He's not obviously painted the back, that's not too much of an issue, but you know, he's got screws going in from the outside, and obviously used the wrong length of screw and went right through it. That's on all with it. Also, the other bad thing he did was, this is, it looks to me like MDF, and he put a cut edge on the top, which basically traps all the dust, and I can never get it clean. It's awful. Then, you know, just poor finish completely, so I'm hoping to get this out today. Make the space more usable. Yeah, the reason why there's holes in the walls is because they was trying to find the water outlet. So I have loads of holes on this side of the alcove and on the other side as well. So I need to fill them in because they didn't bother doing that and just left great big holes in the back of the wall. The stop tap actually ended up being on the other alcove. Mess again, because obviously I'm decorating, so complete tip. Hopefully, what I've done over there is put in a table that we use for crafts that opens up. I'll show that on another video, but basically that rolls out so you can get to the water tap behind. But they've just left big holes in the wall. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Oh, sorry, it did have a bar going down from that screw to there, which I've already took out just so I can get things out of the actual cupboard. So that's what it looks like now. And now at this stage all the cabinet's been taken out. Again, sorry about the poor light. It is night time. I think it's about 1:45 in the morning. Just got a spurt of energy, so I thought I'd take it out. I think next door's on a holiday, so no nice day. That's been a nice job. Anyway, that's what it looks like now. So I've got an outlet there which I know works. An outlet there that was there, but not there now. And an outlet there which I'm not sure if it works or not. So I'll be testing that tomorrow because I'm going to bed right now. So as you can see, all the holes that was left in by these workmen. The table to the right was the one I was talking about, which is like a craft table on wheels. I actually had that in front of it to cover the gap, and also it fitted nice for craft projects that we was doing. So this is where we're up to at the minute. I am up to at the minute. And paint started flaking off up there, so I basically took that off and feathered the edges so when it paints over it looks a bit better. I've now took the skirting board off, so I'm going to paint that in the garage separately. That was a nightmare to get off, but one thing I did find are these little things, which I'm not sure what they are. I'm thinking it might be plumbing or something, I'm not sure, but I'll find that out and I'll let you know what they are. There's two of those. So next is filling in the holes with plasterboard instead of just covering it up with a bit of plywood, whatever that is. That plug socket is live, that one is live, and my idea is I'm going to run from those electric wires a wire into the fireplace, and when I've made the frame, blocked all that out, that'll look all nice and flush and it'll have a power source behind it. Yep, that's where we're up to. Oh, that's the cupboard. That was there. I'm going to get something a bit more fitted and a bit more stylish because that was, in my opinion, a botched job. So here I'm getting a mix of white emulsion paint and water, which is basically put onto fresh plaster as a mist coat so that the paint that you're putting on adheres to the plaster itself. So just taking this tool that I have, I attached that to the drill, give it a good stir for quite a while, and then I started applying that mixture onto the main walls. So this is with the first layer of the mist coat on. Like I said, it just covers the plaster, ready for you to put the actual final coat on. So this is the wall on the right hand side of the fire. Scrap bits of wood to go across, between to the actual wood. It might be a little bit longer when I look at that in a bit, but the main reason why we're here is to see what's up inside. So we've got some wires, a board just below, which I know runs across with this, so I know exactly where that is when I fill it in. That goes all the way to another beam on the left hand side, which is the wall near the fire, and then the other side is a beam going up the side of the plasterboard there. It's actually touching the plasterboard as well, which is good, so I know we can drill straight into that. It's all the way up, just to see where the beams are in relation to figuring out where to put my shelves. I may need to drill up higher to see again for the other ones, but this is just for my own reminder where things are. So after a lot of struggling, I managed to get the ceiling light down. Nearly did that about 10 times. Legs were giving way and feeling like jelly, but I'm going to try and take this off, and that's there because it looks like there's a gap of some kind. The other side looks like it's been painted. Not sure if I want to do it because of the struggle with plastering afterwards if it doesn't come off nice and neat. I'll let you know how it goes. So as you can see, I took the ceiling rows down. This was a couple of weeks in between the last clip and this clip. The plaster didn't come off very easy, so I actually ended up filling it in with polyfiller. It was suitable for ceilings, and now I've just got the camera up inside just to see where the beams are so I can figure out what kind of light that I want. Obviously it needs to be attached to these beams for it to be secure, and there's electrical wiring up there as well, so I need to think about where that's being placed. I decided to go ahead and just have the one light rather than the two. So I needed to check which way the beams were running, and if they were supporting beams so I could screw straight into them, as the light that I had in mind wasn't lightweight. It was something, you know, quite big and modern to cover more of the ceiling rather than putting two lights in. So I'm just up here checking everything, and also to have a nosy of what it looks like up there, because I've never seen what it looks like between a ceiling and floorboards above you. So if you haven't either, this is what it looks like. So before I even got a chance to choose what light fitting I wanted, the landlord dropped the bombshell that we had to move out. So at this point, even though I'd prepped all the walls and painted them all, ready for sorting out the framework for the fire and the shelving that I was going to put in, basically I had to fill the holes in with some plasterboard, skim it over and redecorate the breast wall. So I bought some wallpaper just to cover the chimney breast, and I needed to finish that off so it looked okay, and get the tiles down onto the floor so that I could just put the skirting right up to that wall to make it look finished. So it was only a small wall. This was my first attempt at wallpapering. I tried to keep everything the similar colour just so it all matched. It's not what I would have gone for, but it's what I needed to do to keep the colours quite neutral so that I could hand the property back over to the landlord. So next clip is basically showing you what the room looked like when it was finished. It's not a lot of video footage because we was ready to hand the property back over to the estate agents and the landlord. We decided to do a video of the full house just to show that how everything was left. So that's the footage that I've got for the dining room. That's what I'm going to show you next. I regret not doing a proper video so I could show you guys, but at the time I just wanted to get out the house, get it all finished. It was a big rush, so it is a short clip, but it just gives you an idea. video has inspired some of you out there to give DIY a try. It's not as scary as everybody thinks it is. Once you get into it, you actually start enjoying it, especially if you're more of a creative person and you like doing things creatively. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!